Welcome back to Montana this morning. Dr. Simon Atkins is with us via Skype today from South America. We already were talking about temperatures, and Dr. Atkins, just to recap briefly, you were talking about generally colder to start, especially once we get closer to Thanksgiving, and then much warmer generally across the area by the time we get into the spring. So let's start talking about what's going to happen with precipitation.
Yeah, well, Ed, it's all in this week. I mean, as you just said, we're going to reach near 80 on Wednesday, and Friday morning, 20 to 25. These roller coasters are going to really up or increase the precipitation load early in the winter. And you can see on the map right here, look at the legend on the bottom, everybody. Greens is normal, and when you get towards that yellow-green, it gets wetter. But because November, December is going to be colder, we're looking at some really good snow. And Ed, I'll make you a gentleman's bet just so everybody can listen with both ears. There's probably going to be at least 4 inches of snow in the first 10 days of November. And that's going to get the moisture load coming in from the Pacific Northwest really on the upswing. So we're expecting above normal snowfall from, let's say, Great Falls all the way down to the Bighorns. But I think basically that Fort Peck area is going to be below normal. You can see as we zoom in, you can see there those blues, and it gets very, very dry, so they're going to be kind of low on the snowfall. But Bozeman, Butte, Anaconda, where else haven't I mentioned? Those are all above. Yes,
that's right. Yeah, right through the midsection of the state. And, of course, those areas you mentioned that are drier already have that problem with the drought, so it doesn't look like any early season changes to that.
Yeah, I'll make a note adding to that. If you're a farmer out there and you're worried about, hey, what's happening to eastern Montana, yeah, you should diversify because climate change is coming down strong from the Canadian prairies into northeast Montana. It's going to stay very dry. And let's look at the next one, and that's actually the point that I want to make.
All right, so we're on January and February, national view, and it looks like wetter weather as we start looking through a lot of the southern plains.
Oh, gosh, look at the storm down there. I mean, listen, always count your blessings, no matter if you don't like the weather you're having, because somebody else is having it much worse. Those are big storms down there in the middle of winter, and there could be some nasty ice storms. But when we look at Montana, again, the same point, like Miles City, very, very dry throughout the winter. But going down towards Red Lodge and even Billings, just on that near normal to slightly above for snowfall. But then when you go up to Cut Bank, I think they're even going to be below because you're going to get that very cold high pressure system over like Calgary, and it's going to be dropping down on the northeast flow, which doesn't bring snow.
Right, and it looks like at least the mountains of south central and southwestern Montana could be okay. So let's move on to the spring months now.
Yeah, well, this is great. Look at this. We've got greens and almost some yellows way out near the Idaho border. Basically, greens again is normal snowfall. But remember this. Remember when we did the temperatures, Ed, it was much above normal. So we're going to see a lot of rainfall. And I think the creeks and the rivers are all going to be pretty full by April. And that's really good news for ranchers, farmers, fishermen, everybody outside, because it's going to make it very, very green. So we're looking for a warm and wetter spring. The only exception, you know my favorite city, and am I going to say it correctly? Ekalaka down in southeast Montana, very dry.
Yeah, I was waiting the entire interview for you to say Ekalaka, so thank you for coming through for me. I appreciate that.
Good, good, good. But as you can see, the rollout, Ed, it's not going to be a fantastically cold or snowy winter. We're just going to get these vicissitudes. That's my new word of the day.
All right, vicissitudes will be the word of the day. And if you want to check out more of Dr. Simon Atkins and recap everything, we'll have this posted later on KTVQ.com. Thank you. What time is it in South America right now?
Well, I have a privilege of being at 9:30 here, so that's why I love coming on your show, because I never have to get up early like the old days when we used to do it right there in town.
Absolutely. Thanks once again very much. Enjoy your spring weather while we get into the fall and winter.
Don't forget, Ed, blessings abound, and thank you everybody for seeing me this morning. Ciao.
Thank you. Dr. Simon Atkins with us live this morning.